At the start of 2016, and after more than 2 million models were produced, Land Rover took the decision to end production of its iconic Defender off-roader. And ever since then, we've been waiting, longing to find out what the new one will look like. Well, now is the time we do, because this is the new Defender.
Built on a new D7X platform, the 21st century Defender promises to carry through the legacy of the original, yet in a way that's compatible with what the modern-day Land Rover has become. For example, a low-range gearbox, locking centre differentials and multiple seat configurations are still available, but there's now advanced creature comforts on offer, such as air suspension, over-the-air software updates, and even a plug-in hybrid version due in 2020.
Now, the original Defender's styling was always absolutely iconic. So Land Rover's designers have tried to take that through into the 21st century. So to start this video, we're going to go for a little walk around and look at some of the exterior styling features on this car. We'll start, obviously, at the front end, where we can see the squared off radiator and front bumper, which is becoming harder to do now because of pedestrian crash regulations. Also, the light, it's in a square cluster, but it's still got that round headlight design from the original, and the two lights, which used to be circular, and now a rectangle shape, and you can see that at the rear end as well. If we go to the side, we can see the big bulging wheel arches and that shoulder line that goes right from the front all the way to the back, very, very clear there. And if we just take a step back now, actually, and look at the side profile of the car, you can really see the original Defender in there. Not so much at the front perhaps, but at the side it's really, really obvious, especially with these mirrors, which are very similar to the original, the Alpine lights at the top, and the signature graphic here as well. Moving round to the back of the Defender and past these 18-inch steel wheels, which are the smallest one you can get on this car. And as I said, that design language with the squares or the rectangles replacing the circular elements, it continues, because these lights on the original, they used to be circular and now they're rectangular. You'll also notice this checkerboard finish, which is standard on the front, on the bonnet at the front, although you can't stand on it, it is just a trim piece, but it's optional around the rest of the car. I should probably mention the spare wheel, which is situated on the rear of the car, so that's easy to access when you're off-roading. And there's also, going back to the original, there's this side hinged opening boot door. Finally, this finish on the car, it might look a little bit unusual, but it's actually called a satin protective film. And what it does is when you're off-roading and you're going past branches or anything else a little bit abrasive, if you get a scratch on it, instead of replacing the whole panel or having to buff it out, you can simply remove the film and get that replaced, and that should be a lot cheaper. So it's all built for rugged off-roading and rugged use.
Available with 170 different accessories in total, the Defender can be had with 4 accessory packs, namely the Explorer Pack, Adventurer Pack, Country Pack and Urban Pack. Each pack has a different focus and kits the car out depending on how the customer wishes to use it, whether that be cruising around the capital or scaling your local volcano. Other accessories include a portable rinse system with a 6.5 litre reservoir, useful for hosing down dirty bikes or an over-adventurous pet dog.
Get behind the wheel of the Defender, and this has got to be one of the most dramatic changes from the original, because of course it is. This is now a 21st century car and it needs 21st century technology to attract customers. You've still got the structural crossbeam going across the width of the cabin and the driving position as well, with the bonnet strutting out in front of you and the steeply rate windscreen angle. That's still the same as you get on an original, but aside from that, there's so much change in here. You've got the clear sight rear view mirror, which basically is a rear view camera in the mirror, so if you've got the luggage stacked up in the back, you can still see what's going on behind you. There's a brand new infotainment system, it's called Pivi Pro, and Land Rover say that it's got increased functionality so that you need 50% less steps than you would to do functions on previous systems. There's also a digital dashboard display like you'd see on a Range Rover or a Range Rover Evoque. And finally, there's also a head-up display option, which isn't fitted to this car, but you can get it if you need it. More practical solutions, I'm sure you'll notice this seat here. It's a jump seat. It can double as a cup holder and some storage. with some connectors back here, but it's also a seat, so you can get 3 across the front, and that'll be very, very popular with the kids who want to sit in between mum and dad. I've got to say, what I like about the interior is that, and I've only seen the car for now probably about an hour, but what I like sitting in here, first impressions, is that there is a real sense of functionality. It feels rugged, it feels like it'll last. You can go across the Sahara, you can climb a mountain, all of that, but you've still got the creature comforts that a lot of buyers are going to now want. So you've still got the infotainment system, you've still got a digital dashboard display, you've still got all the other functionality that is perhaps needed on a modern car. Finally, I'm going to mention the terrain response 2 system, because the buttons for it are in here, but they're also in the touchscreen. So if you want to lock the center differentials like you would if you're doing some serious off-roading, that's now a touchscreen function instead of a physical function. How that'll go down with traditional off-roading enthusiasts, we'll have to see, but that's what it is now. Now, so far we've featured this car. It's the 90 version. It's the shorter wheelbase Defender, but there is also going to be a 110 longer wheelbase version. It's actually got a longer wheelbase than the Discovery. And if practicality and people carrying ability and luggage carrying ability is what you want from your new Defender, then this is the version you want to go for. So let's have a look in the back and see what it's like. So, climbing in to the 110 version, and first impressions are that there are so many power points back here. We've got 2 USB slots, and there's another couple of 12-volt ports for your cool box or for whatever down there. And there's even a little USB slot just in front of the seat here. But in terms of space, again, it's very, very good. There's loads of leg room, there's tons of headroom, even with this panoramic roof in place. And that's for fitting a family in here. There shouldn't be any problem at all. I should point out that this is the 5+2 version, so there are a couple of smaller rear seats in there, but they're strictly for children, I'd say, because the space could be a little bit tight for adults, but they are there if you need them. And without them, there's a very nice, generous boot in place as well. So, practicality, that's absolutely fine.
From launch, engines will include 2 2-litre diesels, namely D200 and D240, and 2 petrols. One being a 300 horsepower 2-litre 4-cylinder, and the other a 400 horsepower mild hybrid 6-cylinder capable of 0 to 62 miles an hour in just 6.4 seconds. All engines are paired with an 8-speed ZF automatic and low-range transmissions. Meanwhile, a plug-in hybrid version will join the range in 2020. As well as the configurable Terrain Response 2 system, the Defender's off-road credentials are predictably excellent and include 291mm of ground clearance, approach, breakover and departure angles of 38, 28 and 40 degrees respectively, and a maximum wading depth of 900mm.
So there we go, a whistle-stop tour of the new Defender. If you want to buy one, then this 110 version will be available immediately from around £45,000, with delivery starting in spring 2020. If you want the 90 version, then order dates and delivery dates are yet to be confirmed, but expect them to be a little bit later than this one, with prices from around £40,000. There will also be a commercial version coming along soon, with prices again at around £35,000 plus VAT. So, tell us what you think of the new Defender. Do you like it? Do you like the styling, the direction it's gone in? Let us know, and don't forget to like this video.